Heading east in this homey trailer. Yes, that is really a fireplace screen you see on the grill. Called the Rest Stop Tour, the group will be stopping in lots of rest areas in video store parking lots to promote the video themselves. Now, the movie features a TV photographer that makes a movie. One of the scenes is a pinball sequence. Now, this pinball sequence was seen by ABC and redone as the open for ABC's Monday Night Football. The video sells for $19.95. The group hopes to sell lots of videos. Their goal is to make it to New York. They want to be interviewed by David Letterman.
Sort of.
They just hope they have enough gas to make it that far.
Overcome by the force of gravity, pulling us down through the sixth level. Ah, pure physics. Oh, flipper, bam, bank shot. The star, oh, 5,000 point special. What a shit.
From the pinball's point of view.
Looks like Letterman material to me.
That's our report for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it is definitely a unique way to promote a video.
I leave it to Pam Stark to be right there with the story. Pam?
That's right. I have moved inside this brickmobile. It is cold out there, but now I'm on to my hot cider, and when we come back, I will have a very informative interview. Stay with us.
Well, if you think that making a movie is glamorous or a glamorous quest in life, think again. Once a movie's made, there are all those details of marketing it.
A group of Spokane men know all about it, and Pam Stark is standing by live in the parking lot. Actually, I think she's moved inside by now, of a video store in town where makers of the film Only a Buck are busy trying to sell the film.
That's right. I'm adjacent to the video store because it was just too darn cold. And is this glamorous or what? Now, the guys behind me are the makers of the film Only a Buck. You've probably heard about it. Maybe you haven't seen it, but you will have your chance. And what they're doing here is a marketing scheme. It's a plan to sell their movie. And we talked with them earlier today about just what they're going to be doing. If you happen to spot this faux brickmobile in the parking lot of a video store, don't just think of it as, well, another eyesore. The guys who put this thing together also made a movie in 1980. This is the mobile marketing marvel they will take on the road to sell that movie. Factory direct, of course. The movie is called Only a Buck. You might have seen it.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
He's a cameraman, a ladies' man, a gadget man. He's an athlete, a gourmet, but most of all, he's a filmmaker.
Jay Jordan is now a real-life character on videotape, and he's being placed right alongside of, dare we say, Spielberg's Only an Alien. After hitting Spokane parking lots, the brick motorhome, and I use the term loosely, will start ambling to where else to market the movie, Missoula, Montana, and other points, as of yet, not all known. Where else but Missoula, hey, the film capital of the world. Now, joining me, if I can drag him away from his cooking duties, this is not only the star of the kitchen, the star of the film, Charlie Schmidt. Charlie, tell me, refresh our memories, and for those people who haven't seen the movie, tell us what the storyline is.
Yeah, the storyline is a guy who's had it about up to here with his job, and he decides to quit to make a movie about a guy who's had it up to here with his job and wants to make a movie.
Okay, and now it is on videotape, and you guys, and I really wish you well on this, are going to travel around in this caravan and sell this movie. And where are you going to be stopping?
Rest stops, video stores, parking lots all across America.
And is this something you're looking forward to? Because I might add, people at home, these quarters are cramped.
Well, it's submarine technology, but we figure if they can do it in the shuttle, we can do it in this truck.
And you've got room enough for your hat, so you're going to be at least in character.
Yeah, more than enough headroom. We've checked all that out before we even bought the hat, so we're set and we're ready to go.
And let me ask you this question. I know people at home want to know, why can't you just say, okay, go to some big hotshot in New York and say, so sell the movie, instead of going on the road in this thing?
Well, essentially, because we're first-timers, they would do the promoting themselves, and unfortunately, they wouldn't do it probably as well as we would, considering the nature of our movie, and for the pleasure of having them carry that out for us, we would essentially be giving the movie away to them. So we might build a name, but they would take probably all the money.
Well, I wish you the best, and it's called Only a Buck, but it's a film that you're going to want to see. You may even want to rent or buy. Randy and Julie?
Now, Pam, I understand there's some type of an 800 number on this also, aside from the personal tour across the country.
Yes. Now, if you can't make it to a personal stop at this little caravan here, there is an 800 number, and I believe that is, what was it?
1-800-HECK-YES. So people can come here and come by and have a sip of cider with us, buy the tape at factory direct prices in the truck, or rent them down here at Video Station, or call 1-800-HECK-YES, our video hotline.
That's 1-800-HECK-YES, buy that movie.
A heck of a good idea.
Oh, he wanted to say something else. What is it? He wants to hawk something else. Are there dolls with this, Pam? Or?
Oh, yeah, is there something like, dare I say, E.T. doll or anything like that?
There is a J doll. We didn't bring any today, but it looks really good. And, you know, if people get to their video store and ask for only $1 and they don't have it, just tell the video store owner to call 1-800-HECK-YES.
That's heck yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Pam Stark reporting. Only $1.
That's right.
Up next on Q6 News.
Petroleum has been given a new meaning by the makers of the feature-length comedy Only a Buck. The Spokane filmmakers have taken their film on the road. They're visiting local video stores this week in a brick van full of tapes, selling that flick, and for more than $1. The makers of the film are taking their movie direct to video outlets everywhere, making film distribution history.
We're essentially taking the movie factory direct to consumers everywhere, bypassing the middleman, so really the consumer wins, we win, and the middleman loses.
The Brickmobile will be in Spokane through tomorrow and then will embark on a 2-month tour back east. If you can't catch up with the van, you can order the film by calling 1-800-HECK-YES. A copy of the film will run you $19. That's more than $1, slightly.
Just a few more. Moving on to sports now.
Continues up next, the do-it-yourself way of selling movies. That story in a moment.
In this age of video-conscious consumers, competition among major movie makers is fierce. That makes it all the more impossible for small, independent filmmakers to get a showing, let alone make the big time. But a group of film buffs from Washington State are keeping their feet on the ground. They have gotten their act together, and they have taken it on the road to sell it themselves. Business reporter Mike Strand reports.
If you're days, you've probably seen it and wondered, what the heck is this marketing tool? Turns out the 4 guys inside are just as crazy.
Buy or rent, only $1, the world's first display. That's right, factory direct from us, the movie makers, to you, the consumer.
Welcome to Grassroots Film Distribution. Guys from Spokane, Washington, who either wrote, produced, or starred in the movie Only a Buck, are now tooling around the country trying to sell it by wearing out a lot of shoe leather.
We had distribution offers and none of our distributor. You'll do what we say, and we thought, well, that's a little scary. And we heard too many horror stories about people that got pretty well screwed over on a deal like that.
So put demands on your video store. Tell them to stock only $1. Okay. You'll like it, I'm positive.
They're selling copies of the film to keep them in gas and groceries, but the main objective is to get enough people interested that video stores buy it. They're even using a...
Come see his film. What is it? Only a Buck.
The film cost $100,000 to produce. Small change as movies go themselves and take the lumps that go along with roadside retailing.
Hey, plywood is hard. We have makeshift plywood sleeping quarters, and they're okay.
Would you do it again if you knew it?
We have to do it again. About 4 more cities, I think.
I'm Mike Strand, WCCO Television News, Minneapolis.
The 4 filmmakers are traveling to New York via Milwaukee and Chicago. They hope to land a spot on the David Letterman show and make enough money on this movie to produce another one.
And then how are they going to sell that one?
I don't know. I wish them luck, though. I like
do, too.
The American way.
Right. The Brickmobile rides into Chicago next.
Thank you, Floyd. Hollywood put a roadblock in the path of 2 young filmmakers, so they, of course, bought a Brickmobile and blasted through it, driving around the country selling their movie directly to the public. They have bravely named their campaign the USA Rest Stop Movie Tour. Was there.
They arrived in Chicago this afternoon, riding in their Brickmobile and selling their full-length feature movie, a movie they made themselves.
Welcome to Only a Buck, the world's first movie distributed from a brick-moving vehicle.
I'm telling you, this is a high-class operation. For instance, this right here is their press box, a used Domino's pizza box. Inside, of course, a video of their new hit movie.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
He's a cameraman.
The movie is called Only a Buck, and this is how they're distributing it. Driving around the country selling videotape copies from their Brickmobile.
The vehicle itself is a place to live and, sleep and go from one place to the other. The reason we painted it bricks was I think is an eye catcher. And if, you know, we want to go into a residential neighborhood and like pull up, we can kind of blend into the real nicer neighborhoods.
The movie stars a guy named Charlie Schmidt. He and his partners are all from Spokane, Washington. That's where they made the movie and where they started on the road to stardom. And it's a long, long road.
And no middleman. We call it factory direct. So people can come on board the truck, sip some hot cider with us, meet the stars, meet the director, and there's no middleman at all.
Not many people have seen the movie yet, but Al Cohn of the Illinois Film Office has. He likes it.
It's genuinely funny. It really is. I saw it first at the U.S. Film Festival earlier this year out in Park City, Utah, and it really is a funny film. It's probably the sleeper of the year.
If the movie does catch on, they're rich. If it doesn't, at least they've seen the country for only a buck. Frank Matthew, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
And if your video store doesn't already carry this epic, they can get it by calling 1-800-HECK-YES. That's 1-800-HECK-YES.
And no middleman.
That's right, factory direct.
And these days, the money it takes to make a movie can be mind-boggling. Does that mean you should give up the dream? Well, if you got an idea, heck no, says our entertainment reporter Norman Mark. Why?
No, go for it. Well, I got a great idea with these guys I talked to. With lots of people making lots of films, it can be very difficult to get on the shelves of video stores these days. It's so rough, in fact, that some people are taking truly extraordinary measures.
Like a flyer? We made a movie. We're going across the country promoting it ourselves. We're the director and the people who've made it, and it's going factory direct from us to the consumer.
Take a closer look. Selling videotapes?
Or have your video store call 1-800-HECK-YES, and they can get the thing. It's funny. It's a laugh a minute. We timed it.
It's a story of the big guys against the little guys. 3 filmmakers from Spokane, Washington, in the Brickmobile, trying to sell their movie without going through the major movie distributors.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
He's a cameraman.
The movie, titled Only a Buck, is about a TV news cameraman who dreams about making a film but doesn't have a script.
I like this song. Got to figure out a way to use it. The story of the movie is a guy who he chases his dreams and he really doesn't care about what society says.
The film cost $100,000, cheap at today's prices. The van was bought for $800 and turned into a Brickmobile for another $2,000. The filmmakers sleep and eat in the van on their cross-country tour.
We don't really expect to break even just through the Brickmobile, selling tapes out the back door. We're using that as a way to get some name recognition.
We had distribution offers, but because it's our first film and we don't have a named star, they wouldn't give us guarantees of exactly what they were going to do with the movie. We were lucky enough to do the open for ABC's Monday Night Football based on a shot they saw in our movie, and so that sort of come in handy when we needed it for gas money.
We wanted to be ready for any circumstances. We have our comedy version, Only a Buck, but some people like westerns, and so we have a western version, or wildlife for those animal lovers, or for the business person, we have our economic version. So.
Even my trousers are given the pain. They were reduced in the sales, so I shouldn't complain.
When you're out there shooting, I don't want you to forget the cameraman's creed. And it goes like this. Stay steady, and above all, stay steady.
Now, they sold 300 tapes in Chicago. Today, I talked to them. The Brickmobile is on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Now, they made a funny, very charming movie, which can be a little too charming when it repeats itself toward the end. But the idea of selling a movie from the back of a van has a certain screwball admirability to it. If you want the film, call 1-800-HECK-YES, and they'll send it to you.
I think about the Chicagoan Robert Townsend and his ventures charging something like $40,000 worth of credit card vouchers.
Yeah, he told me he got a bunch of credit cards, and then in order to pay for the movie, he would like fill up his crew's gas tanks and do that to fill the movie. By the way, I go from here to Luther Vandross.
Tonight?
Yes.
10 o'clock. Okay.
Check you out.
Thank you. Home from a Christmas trip to Texas, and a bunch of independent movie makers tries to buck the Hollywood system. Eyewitness News is next.
Of a foot. Not bad all in all.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. If you've ever wondered what happened to drive-in movies, well, they're back, at least for some independent movie makers from Spokane, Washington. When big money Hollywood turned its nose up at their small budget movie, they hit the road. And when they rolled into New Orleans, Tom Foreman says it was a sight to behold.
The holiday season is a big one for movie makers. Millions of dollars are spent trying to make each film the film for fans. And then there is the Brickmobile.
You really can't experience it till you ride in this thing out on the open highway and you get the wind blowing through and the whole works.
The Brickmobile is the film-promoting dream child of independent movie makers Jerry Cook, Peter Hunricks, and Don Moulton, who are taking it across the country, literally selling their first film, Only a Buck, factory direct.
Only a Buck, the first movie distributed from a brick motor home. A laugh a minute. We timed it. This is all we've got. We've got every dime we've ever made into this movie, and it seemed too risky, and so we decided, well, what the hell, this will be kind of fun, and we'll give it a shot.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
It was that very attitude that made the movie in the first place. Loosely biographical, it tells the story of a TV news photographer who decides to cash it all in to make a movie. But already the real filmmakers have landed some national fame. They were hired to recreate a pinball sequence from their film as the opening for Monday Night Football. Naturally, distributors were interested, but...
Well, because we didn't feel comfortable just signing our movie away to someone in New York or L.A. who we didn't know and who didn't have any stake in it after we had really poured our guts into it and, you know, and saying, here, you guys go ahead and take it from here.
And so the Brickmobile rolls on, drawing stares and crowds wherever it goes.
Want a flyer? Oh, come on.
There weren't many buyers for Only a Buck today, but at least they hope their efforts will get it into video stores.
They'll go to their video stores and tell them they want to see the movie. And the video stores, of course, when enough people are clamoring for the movie, what are they going to do? They have to call us and order the tape.
And as for future marketing...
And maybe they like Westerns. Well, we thought we better be ready for those type of moviegoers, so we do have a Western. Or maybe they don't like Western, but they're into wildlife. That's okay. We're ready for them.
If you want a direct comparison between all of this and the Hollywood way, well, for an average Christmas release, Hollywood may spend $15 million promoting a single film. The van cost $800. But with the director, the writer, and a star on board, Hollywood can't get any more glamorous, no matter what the cost. Tom Foreman, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
And if after all of that you would like a copy, you can order one by calling 1-800-HECK-YES. Well, that's our news to this hour. We hope that you'll join us again at 10. Until then, have a...
Once upon a time, there were 4 young men who had a dream and a problem. They couldn't get any satisfaction out of distributors to get the movie they had made into the theaters. So the first thing they did was to take the movie to the theaters themselves and show it while standing in line to see other movies.
Essentially what it is a color TV and a videotape deck. Now the TV wouldn't fit, so we folded it in half and soldered some wires together, and now it all fits in the box. There's a battery that runs it all. It's rechargeable, it's portable, and effective.
But then they got a better idea. Why not ship directly from the factory via a Brickmobile? So the movie makers hit the road, their movie in hand, stopping at rest stops, gathering attention and customers.
It's really funny. It's been shown at film festivals all over the country, and in order to get a good name for it, we're taking it on this crazy tour and just trying to get as many people to see it and hear about it as possible.
In the 4 months they've traveled cross-country from Spokane, the boys have sold 400 cassettes of their movie, but that's really not the point.
You can be part of movie distribution history by buying probably the only movie ever distributed. In fact, I'm sure of it, from a brick motor home.
Figure by taking it factory direct and bringing it to the people and really letting the response happen rather than letting distributors predict that it won't happen, we will ultimately reach our goal, which is a theatrical deal. If comedy is the right sensibility, we're covered with our existing cover. But if we run into a distributor with money and is interested in us and he handles Westerns, we're covered there as well. Wildlife, adventure distributors will also find there's something in Only a Buck for them. and people who are into money, economic news. We're covered in that sensibility, and psychics and minimalists are going to be really happy about this one.
So you give it away to see
It's 1995. Virtually given it away. But
okay.
Come see his film.
What is it?
Only a buck. Everything you want in a movie.
Except a script.
Connie Collins, News 4, Manhattan.
Rosie's Diner out in Little Ferry, New Jersey.
Jim, we are in fact, as you say, in front of Rosie's Diner, and we're waiting for the arrival of a very strange mobile which, hark, I hear it in the valleys now. I believe it's a magnificent effort by a group of young men who've made their own movie. My golly goodness, you've driven all the way from where? Spokane. Golly, I bet you're pretty hungry and tired. Come into Rosie's, we'll fix you up. And that looks deceptively like a portrait of my twin brother. But we'll be back to find out what kind of people make a movie and sell it out of the back of a truck and isn't closed down by the FCC. You know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. All coming up as you enjoy the official coffee of good.
And at Dear Rosie's.
We've got, as you can see, a lovely open fire going here this morning, and it's the front grill, the fire grill, of this marvellous mobile home, which is the home of a movie and its stars, its producer, its composer, and its director. It's a movie made by a group of guys called Only a Buck, and they've been travelling around, given the difficulty of getting distribution in the film world these days. They've decided to do it themselves by driving around in their home. They've parked outside of Rosie's Diner this morning, and I don't think they've been out of bed yet. We're just going to wake them up. We decided we'd... Morning! 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 Good morning. I believe you live in this truck as well. Please look at this.
Would you like to buy a tape?
Buy what?
A tape. They're 1995.
Are you still in your sleep? You're selling tapes in your sleep? Please come right in here.
Well, people knock and they want to buy.
Please, what you boys are still in bed at this hour?
Yeah, we decided to veg because we've been on the road a long time.
Okay, listen, who's the star? Who's the star? You're the star.
These guys are stars.
Who wrote the film?
I'm a writer.
You
He's
wrote
a writer. Wouldn't you like to?
Did you write it?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're the star?
I'm the star.
Who's this? What are you?
I'm a sort of star.
What did you do in the film?
I acted in it.
Really?
Yeah, I woke up once in the movie, too.
We'll go back to bed, see if you can replay the role.
All right.
Actually, what did you actually cost? What did it cost you to make this film?
I think about $70,000, something like that.
$7,000? 70.
Low budget, really.
$70,000. Let's have a look now. If you recognize this face, it's going to look even more familiar to you after you've seen this clip. Please, as we go now into the annals of Hollywood history, and we look at Only a Buck. Well, you can see where every dollar went. Most of it went into the can of beans. And the microwave wasn't from Toys R Us, too, which is a marvelous step forward. Guys, you big leave?
Yeah, we've started in Spokane, Washington, and almost 3 months ago. And we went, through the northern half of the U.S. We got cold in Chicago.
Selling this stuff out of the back of a truck?
Out of the back of the truck.
Living in the back of the truck?
Living in the back of the truck, trying to get people to call 1-800-HECK-YES if they want to order their tape.
Yeah, well, listen, I would suggest right now what we do is we clear out of here. It smells like an old bear pit. It looks like an old bear pit.
I'd like to offer you breakfast. We'll clean it up. And...
Okay, I'll be back for breakfast after this,
right.
okay? Baked beans and microwaves, no doubt. Robin, please come down. Bears and baked beans.
Spam, too.
I don't think so, Gordon. I think I'm going to pass on that little breakfast treat, but thank you.
Here it is, the one and only a buck truck. Hollywood is shaking in its boots by the thought that this even exists. Inspired by the imagination of some young men who've made a movie called Only a Buck, they've decided to go on the road around America and sell it themselves on video cassette. And they were frustrated by that bottom-kissing, Hollywood-style distribution deal. They decided the way to take the movie to the people was to do it themselves. We woke them up a little earlier, and they're inviting us back in. Please, come in. for breakfast? These chaps again, I'll ask them, oh, I smell spam for breakfast.
You got it, Gordon.
What's your name again, sir?
Charlie Schmidt.
You are the co-writer, star, director, producer?
Star, art director.
All right. And your name, sir, is?
Don Moulton.
Don, you are responsible for?
Co-writing, and I played a part in it.
Fantastic. And listen, here we are, the chef at the back with appropriately 50s music. And both these lads, of course, also star, helped write, direct, and hammer the sets together and took down these sheets in the afternoon. Guys, I believe also you are hanging up the sheets in the evening to show the film to the people of America.
Well, we're showing a preview to them and hoping they want to buy it.
Alrighty, listen, we've got a big news story, guys, and I'd really hate to interrupt on the spam sandwiches with the squeezed cheese, spray cheese.
We call this spam plant egg.
And some yoo-hoo, but listen, we believe Jim Ryan's got something big back.
This story breaking at the moment just came in.
止めるっていうのは素晴らしいことなんじゃないかなと思うんですよ。いや、父親だったら夢ですよ、それは。そうでしょうね。技がたくさんできるでしょうけれどもね、頑張ってくださいね。頑張ってくださいね。本当にね。はい、女三四郎姉妹でございました。ご苦労様でした。ニューヨークウエストさんどうぞ。
はい、雨上がりのニューヨークです。つとめさん、ニューヨークの街ってね、歩いてるだけで本当に面白い人、変な人にたくさん出会うんですよね。
そうなんですよね。
はい、今日は先日出会いましたこの方々をご紹介しようと思うんです。一体何をしてる人たちなんでしょうか。
歌歌ってる。違うかな。
ニューヨークのとある街角に止められたおかしな車と人だかり。近づいてみますと怪しい4人組が何やらパンフレットを配ってたんですね。話を聞いてみますと、この4人組は西海岸にあるワシントン州からこの車に乗って全米を行商して歩いているっていうんですよね。そして売っている商品は彼らが作った映画のビデオなんです。アメリカは映画の国です。全米で組合に加入している映画俳優の数はなんと6万人。でもそのうちヒノキ舞台に立てるのはわずか 1% と一般に認められるチャンスは少ないんですね。昨年制作された商業映画の数は327本。しかし日の目を見ない映画もたくさんあります。そこで彼ら映画館で上映してもらえないなら自分たちの手で売り歩こうとこの業種を始めたそうです。そして彼らは宣伝担当者じゃなくてこの映画の俳優や監督さんたちなんです。誰もが認めてくれないなら自らの手で認めさせてみせる、チャンスを掴んでみせるぞというバイタリティが本当にすごい。彼らが行商している映画の内容なんですが、とある田舎のカメラマンが主人公で本当は映画が作りたいんだけれどもなかなかうまくいかず、それでも頑張るという彼らの生き方そのもののコメディ作品です。とってもよくできてましてね、決して素人作品ではありません。アメリカという国はオーバーナイトサクセス、一夜明けたら有名人という国だけにね、この映画もひょっとすると明日にはヒットするんじゃないか、そんな気持ちにねさせられてしまいます。決してこれも夢じゃないと思います。さてこちらがですね主演のチャーリーさんなんですが、ちょっと日本の皆さんにメッセージをお願いしましょう。
ありがとう。はい、日本の人々は私たちの映画を大好きでしょう。なぜならばこの映画にはたくさんおかしな機械と面白いアメリカのものがいっぱいです。
はい、
そうですね。
よろしく、
よろしくということでぜひ皆さん期待していただきたいと思いますよ。
はい、アメリカの人たちのバイタリティ感じますね。はい、日本の映画人にも少し刺激になっていいんじゃないかとそんな気がいたします。どうもご苦労様でした。
はい、以上でした。
はい、今度は東京の堀君です。はい、おはようございます。今日はですね、皆さんにちょっとご協力いただきたいそんな話題をお送りいたします。今朝私は東京は六本木になります東京日産
A casting system.
Producers of Day by Day look to TV's past for inspiration.
The classic film Raisin in the Sun comes to public broadcasting.
Johnny Mathis and Dionne Warwick pull in the crowds in a new tour.
And one group of filmmakers has found a novel way to sell their film.
We said the heck with Hollywood. We headed up to about here with...
At the top of the show is headlines. Princess Di has landed in New York. She'll be going to see Falstaff by the Welsh National Opera, performed at the Brooklyn Academy of Art. She'll also take in some other sights along the way, and we're expecting a photo opportunity shortly. And finally, making a motion picture is hard enough. Trying to get into a movie theater with it is another story. There are deals for distribution, promotion, and video rights. It goes on and on. It was the art of the deal that made a group of independent filmmakers from Washington State take things into their own hands.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
He's a cameraman, a ladies' man, a gadget man.
This is their film, Only a Buck. It tells the story of a TV news cameraman who has a dream of making it in Hollywood. At film festivals, critics loved Only a Buck. The love affair ended there. Getting it in a theater near you would involve a lot of middlemen who all want a piece of the pie. Buck's filmmakers said, forget it. Now they're doing something DeMille would have never done. Sell it door to door. Saying goodbye to friends and family back in Spokane, Washington, the filmmakers set out in their Brickmobile on a city-to-city sales blitz. We caught up with them in Lower Manhattan.
Like to buy a tape?
They also live in the Brickmobile. After a hearty breakfast of Yoo-Hoo and Cheese Whiz, it was off for another day of hawking It's Only a Buck.
I just thought I'd come by for the ride. That's a great outfit for Wall Street, right?
Let's clarify one thing that confuses a lot of people. Only a Buck is the name of the movie. It sells for $19.95.
To be holding it like maybe you just bought it. Oh, sure, why don't I just do a commercial for it right here?
Enough fun. Now it's time for business.
Here's the movie. It's called Only a Buck. It's a hell of a good investment.
Hey, that's great. Superb. All right, VHS, right?
That's right.
You got it.
Are you sure I'm going to enjoy this? I think you'll love it.
And if you don't, we'll refund your money. A signed copy, it's almost like art.
It's a factory direct movie offer. We're the people who made the movie. I'm the star, he's the director, and we're out selling it ourselves. We said the heck with Hollywood.
A motion picture is hard enough. Trying to get into a movie theater with it is another story. There are deals for distribution, promotion, and video rights. It goes on and on. It was the art of the deal that made a group of independent filmmakers from Washington State take things into their own hands.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
He's a cameraman, a ladies' man, a gadget man.
This is their film, Only a Buck. It tells the story of a TV news cameraman who has a dream of making it in Hollywood. At film festivals, critics loved Only a Buck. The love affair ended there. Getting it in a theater near you would involve a lot of middlemen who all want a piece of the pie. Buck's filmmakers said, forget it. Now they're doing something DeMille would have never done. Sell it door to door. Saying goodbye to friends and family back in Spokane, Washington, the filmmakers set out in their Brickmobile on a city-to-city sales blitz. We caught up with them in Lower Manhattan.
Like to buy a tape?
They also live in the Brickmobile. After a hearty breakfast of Yoo-Hoo and Cheese Whiz, it was off for another day of Only a Buck.
I just thought I'd come by for the ride. That's a great outfit for Wall Street, right?
Let's clarify one thing that confuses a lot of people. Only a Buck is the name of the movie. It sells for $19.95.
To be holding it like maybe you just bought it. Oh, sure, why don't I just do a commercial for it right here?
Enough fun. Now it's time for business.
Here's the movie. It's called Only a Buck. It's a hell of a good investment.
Hey, that's great. Superb. All right, VHS, right?
That's right.
You got it.
Are you sure I'm going to enjoy this? I think you'll love it.
And if you don't, we'll refund your money. A signed copy, it's almost like art.
It's a factory direct movie offer. We're the people who made the movie. I'm the star, he's the director, and we're out selling it ourselves. We said the heck with Hollywood. We headed up to about here with...
It was a good day in the Big Apple. Almost 20 copies sold. Enough for dinner and gas and a chance for Only a Buck to play at a parking space near you. I'm glad they left me out of the truck or I'd be in Dubuque by now.
And that's our show for tonight. Please join me this Sunday for Good News on Superstation TBS. I'm Elizabeth Gershon. A unique way to promote a video.
I'll leave it to Pam Stark to be right there with the story. Pam?
Business reporter Mike Strand reports.
Heck.
News 4's Connie Collins met them.
Once upon a time, there were 4 young men who had a dream and a problem.
And they were frustrated by that bottom-kissing, Hollywood-style distribution deal. They decided the way to take the movie to the people was to do it themselves.
It's a story of the big guys against the little guys. 3 filmmakers from Spokane, Washington, in the Brickmobile.
The van cost $800.
西海岸にあるワシントン州。アメリカは映画の国です。全米で組合に加入している映画、それでも頑張るという。
Taking it across the country, literally selling their first film, only a buck, factory direct.
Are you still in your sleep? You're selling tapes in your sleep? Please come right in here.
People knock and they want to buy.
Please, what you boys are still in bed at this hour?
Yeah, we decided to veg because we've been on the road a long time.
Okay, listen.
Well, it's submarine technology, but we figure if they can do it in the shuttle, we can do it in this truck.
The filmmakers sleep and eat in the van on their cross-country tour.
The idea of selling a movie from the back of a van has a certain screwball admirability to it.
We wanted to be ready for any circumstances. We have our comedy version, only a buck, but some people like westerns, and so we have a western version, or wildlife for those animal lovers, or for the business person. We have our economic versions.
It's funny. It's a laugh a minute. We timed it.
In the 4 months they've traveled cross-country from Spokane, the boys have sold 400 cassettes of their movie, but that's really not the point.
You can be part of movie distribution history by buying probably the only movie ever distributed. In fact, I'm sure of it, from a brick motorhome.
You'll like it, I'm positive.
Copy and gas and groceries, but the main objective is to get enough people interested that video stores buy it.
What the hell? This will be kind of fun, and we'll give it a shot.
Meet Jay Jordan.
All right.
It was that very attitude that made the movie in the first place.
機械と面白いアメリカのものがいっぱいです。
はい
ですね。よろしく。
よろしくということで、ぜひ皆さん。
But already the real filmmakers have landed some national fame. They were hired to recreate a pinball sequence from their film as the opening for Monday Night Football. But with the director, the writer, and a star on board, Hollywood can't get any more glamorous, no matter what the cost.
Only a
Tom Foreman, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
I wish them luck, though. I like
I do, too.
the American way.
If the movie does catch on, they're rich. If it doesn't, at least they've seen the country for only a buck. Frank Matthew, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And if your video store doesn't already carry this epic, they can get it by calling 1-800-HECK-YES.
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 That's 1-800-HECK-YES, buy that movie.
A heck of a good idea.
That's 1-800-HECK-YES.
And no middleman.
That's right, factory direct.